Most people jump into change by asking what to do or how to do it. They look for strategies, hacks, and quick routines, but real transformation, lasting, undeniable, powerful change, starts with asking yourself why. Why do you want to become powerful? Why do you want to be unrecognizable in 1 week? Is it to prove something? To rise above who you were? To never feel powerless again? Until you have clarity on your why, every tactic will feel forced, every habit will be shaky, and every setback will feel like failure. When your why is strong enough, the how becomes clearer. You'll wake up with direction. You'll go to sleep with purpose. You'll train not just for physical strength, but because you no longer accept weakness. You'll read not just to learn, but because you refuse to remain ignorant. Your why becomes your fuel. And when people ask you why you've changed, why you're so focused, why you seem like a different person, the answer isn't found in what you're doing, it's in what you believe. When you start with why, you align your actions with your deepest values. You become unstoppable, because your transformation is no longer just about results. It's about identity. Change doesn't require an entire life overhaul overnight. It begins with small, strategic eliminations. 1 weak habit, removed each day, creates a ripple effect that rewires your identity. Maybe it's the habit of hitting snooze and wasting the first hour of your morning. Maybe it's the habit of complaining instead of solving. Maybe it's scrolling mindlessly instead of reading, reacting instead of reflecting, procrastinating instead of executing. You don't need to do everything at once. You need to start subtracting. Weak habits are anchors that keep you tied to the version of yourself you're trying to outgrow. When you eliminate one each day, you're not just creating space, you're declaring war on your limitations. This isn't about perfection, it's about precision. Identify one behavior that weakens your discipline, your energy, or your character, and remove it with intention. And when that's done, find the next one. Stack those small victories. Each day becomes a battle won. Each eliminated weakness becomes evidence that you are changing. And over time, people won't just see a different schedule or a different body. They'll feel a different presence, because the person who once lived by excuses is no longer in charge. The new you doesn't tolerate the old patterns. Time is the most equal resource on the planet. Every person has the same 24 hours, but what separates the powerful from the average is how those hours are owned. Most people let time slip through their fingers like water, reacting to the day instead of owning it. But when you decide to become unrecognizable in just 1 week, you must treat every hour like it matters. You don't wait for motivation, you schedule growth. You set boundaries around your time like it's sacred, because it is. Every hour becomes an investment in the person you're becoming. You use your mornings to gain clarity, your afternoons to execute, your evenings to reflect. You cut out meaningless distractions, not because they're bad, but because they steal moments from your future self. You realize that every wasted hour is a vote for staying the same, while every intentional hour is a step toward transformation. There's no room for random scrolling, for passive consumption, for wandering without direction. You plan your day the night before. You say no more often. You use alarms, calendars, systems, whatever it takes to ensure your time serves your purpose. Because when your hours are owned, your life follows the direction you've chosen. Power isn't just about how loud you are, how strong you appear, or how much attention you command. Real power is rooted in service. The most powerful people don't need to prove themselves. They lift others, they guide, They lead with purpose. Ego seeks control, but service seeks impact. When you shift your focus from being noticed to being useful, you become dangerous in the best way. People trust you, follow you, and are drawn to your presence, not because of what you demand, but because of what you give. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to uplift. Every action becomes a reflection of deeper values. This mindset doesn't make you weak. It makes you untouchable. Because your confidence is no longer based on comparison, but contribution. When others chase approval, you create influence. When they seek attention, you build legacy. Leading with service doesn't mean you sacrifice your strength. It means you channel it. You walk into rooms with humility, but you leave a mark. You're not driven by validation, but by vision. And in just 1 week, if you choose to serve instead of boast, to build instead of break, to listen instead of dominate, you'll find a power that ego could never access. The environment you operate in shapes your identity more than you realize. Every sound, sight, scent, and structure around you either reinforces who you were or supports who you want to become. If you want to be powerful and unrecognizable in 1 week, your surroundings must mirror that transformation. That means decluttering the noise, physically, digitally, emotionally. It means removing reminders of past failure, distractions, and comfort. You set up your space like it belongs to the future version of you, the one who is focused, disciplined, intentional. Your room, your desk, your phone, your routine, they all send silent signals to your brain about who you are. If they reflect chaos, you will feel scattered. But if they reflect clarity, strength, and structure, you will rise to meet them. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about architecture. You design your space to trigger the behaviors you want to build. You surround yourself with cues that push you forward, people that challenge your thinking, systems that make winning automatic. You stop tolerating environments that drain you or pull you back into old habits. You protect your energy by designing your world to serve your mission, and every step you take in that space reminds you who you're becoming. The fastest way to shift your identity is to speak and act like the person you want to become, not the one you've been. Most people wait for results before they give themselves permission to change how they carry themselves. But the truth is, change happens when your actions start to align with your future, not your past. You begin to use words that elevate, not diminish. You stop saying, "I'm trying," and start saying, "I'm doing." You eliminate the language of doubt, the tone of defeat, the posture of insecurity. Your body, your voice, your decisions, they all begin to reflect the version of you that's already powerful. And as you speak differently, you think differently. As you move with intention, people feel your presence shift. This isn't about faking it. It's about embodying it. It's about rehearsing greatness until it becomes reality. Every time you speak with conviction, every time you act with boldness, you are carving a new path in your brain, in your identity, in your destiny. You don't need permission to step into that next version of yourself. You simply need to start living like you already are. And in doing so, the world begins to respond to who you've decided to become.